Hello, my name is Pamela Kuther, and I'm an instructional specialist for secondary mathematics with Richmond Public Schools. Welcome to the Richmond Public Schools Distance Learning Modules. In this series, we will learn Algebra 1, where we will have a different focus for each week. This week, we will focus on SOL 8.1b, Evaluating Expressions. Today, we will review the order of operations. Before we get started, you will need a few supplies: your interactive notebook or a few sheets of paper, a pencil or other writing utensil, and your Desmos graphing calculator. Before we learn our skill for today, we need to familiarize ourselves with a few vocabulary terms. Please copy the vocabulary and the definitions into your notebook. We will pause to give you time to copy that information. Now we are ready to look at the instructional video, which will explain our skill for today. Before we start, please open the notes. Copy the notes and fill in the blanks as you watch the video. The video is linked in the presentation. Once you're done, come back to this presentation. Now that you've learned our skill for today, we will look at some model examples. Please copy and complete the examples in your notebook. Also, feel free to jot down any additional information that's said throughout the explanation. Here's model example number 1. Take some time to write down model example number 1, and then we will discuss the solution. We will look at the solution two ways: by hand, as well as using the Desmos graphing calculator. When you look at the by hand solution, notice that we have some terms written under the radical, or the square root. We must simplify that first. So I add the 9 and 16 and get 25. And then we must find the square root of 25, which is 5. Separately, I simplify what's inside the parentheses, squaring the 3, getting 9, and then I have 8 minus 9, which is negative 1. Minus negative 1 is the same as adding, and we get 6 for a final answer. Please take a few seconds to now click on the Desmos video to see this expression simplified using the Desmos graphing calculator. Let's look at model example number 2. This expression is written in what we call rational form because it's written as a fraction. Let's look at the solution. When an expression is written in rational form, you must simplify the numerator and simplify the denominator separately. And then at the end, you can bring them together. Notice in simplifying the numerator, you're still going to follow the order of operations by simplifying the exponents and then performing your multiplication and division from left to right. Notice that the division does come first, and then finally subtracting and getting 9. And the denominator, you simply have one operation to perform, square root of 225, which is 15. Notice once I get that in the first step, I just continue to bring that down into my further solutions. Finally, I can simplify this fraction by dividing numerator and denominator by 3 and get a final answer of 3/5. Take a few seconds to see this expression evaluated using the Desmos calculator. Here's a problem for you to try on your own. Please take some time to write down the expression and work on simplifying. We will look at the solution shortly. Let's look at the solution. Remember from the video that we are supposed to evaluate the expression working from the innermost grouping symbols outward. So the innermost grouping symbols would be the parentheses that are inside the brackets. So I simplify that, squaring the 3 to get 9. Continue simplifying, 9 minus 12 gives me -3. I multiply that by 4 and get -12. And then I have 6 minus -12, which is the same as addition, and I get 18. Separately, I have the square root of 169, which is 13. Notice once I simplify that, I just continue to bring that down in my solution. Finally, I add the 18 plus 13 and get an answer of 31. Take a few seconds to click on the Desmos calculator to see how this expression is simplified using the graphing calculator. That concludes our lesson for today. During your remaining work time, please complete the practice problems and the online practice. The answers to the practice problems will be in tomorrow's module. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.